Okay, 250 talk, and I have some notes here.
Are we getting it right out of the way?
We're going right out of the box.
Or can we just save the best for last?
No, we're going right out of the box here. So obviously everyone's probably seen it. If you haven't, you probably are living under a rock.
Yeah, you must not be a motocross fan, I guess. So we got this, and I got some stuff on Fortner too. I got kind of a theory on.
Oh well, we can talk about him too, because that's funny, because I called that one. The Ferrandis on Craig incident. I'll let you start. Go ahead with your thoughts. Then I'll give Justin's thoughts, and then I'll tell you how stupid Justin is. So go ahead.
You might think I'm stupid because I didn't even read them. So my thought on the whole deal, when I saw it looked nasty. But is everybody in agreement that he didn't torpedo him on purpose? There is no way in hell he did that on purpose.
Where the fuck was he going?
Out of hate, he was taking the line.
Okay.
It was an aggressive move. So Christian Craig, if he did not hear him to his right, he's a fucking idiot. Okay? Heat of the moment, race. Craig doesn't want to get past, so he doesn't check up. Frenchie knows he's the fastest guy, and he's trying to get to the front, so he doesn't check up. It's kind of a racing deal, in my opinion. People can think that Frenchie was trying to intentionally punt Craig. That's bullshit. If he was trying to intentionally do that, you guys are high. Now, if you want to talk about intentional hits, we can bring up a lot of past hits. We can bring up Craig cutting Savacci off in the whoops. Okay. We can bring up Craig elbowing the shit out of Alex Martin in practice.
He didn't elbow him. He punted him.
Okay. We can talk about that if you want to go down those kind of roads. And if you look at the footage, Frenchie, I think, kind of knew that he had fucked up a little bit and leaned her in even harder and started sliding. Mm-hmm. And that made it even worse because you got a tire going under the bike and kicking that bike up, and off he goes. So, in my opinion, I think Frenchie could have been a little more patient, but he sees Jet Lawrence out there moving, and he wants to get moving. He sees Craig slowing up. He doesn't want to waste any time with him. In my opinion, it's kind of a racing deal. And everybody wants to get mad and boo Frenchie and stuff, and I think a lot of it would be a lot different if he wasn't French. If he wasn't French, I think it would be a different story too. If you want to go back into history and look at Chad Reed blowing out James Stewart, everybody loved it. Wyndham blew DV out, loved it. It was definitely aggressive, but I don't think it was intentional. And I think it's kind of getting covered up by the softness of today's generation, I guess. I just think if you think that was intentional, there's no way.
So,
and it just happens to be Golden Boy, Pretty Boy Craig.
Well, that's part of it.
It's gotta be. It just happened to be Pretty Boy Craig. If it wasn't Pretty Boy Craig and it was somebody else, that's my new name, Pretty Boy Craig. If it was somebody else, would it be that big of a deal?
Nope. And so I will agree, racing incident. I will agree there wasn't the intention of going in to hurt him.
Okay. You will agree that he could have been more patient.
Yes.
And you will agree that Craig should have hurt him. If you're at that level of a rider, I believe if you hear a guy coming to your inside, you should know that you might have to check up.
I will give you that also. I will also give you, so here's my thought on it. Number one, it is accentuated because it was Golden Boy Craig, as you call him.
Pretty Boy Craig,
whatever. Fucking Golden Boy there from that area. I mean, of anyone you're going to take out there, that was the worst person to do it. Right. It was impatient. It was a dumb fucking move. It was fucking stupid.
I don't think it was.
It was.
It was dumb. I just think it was aggressive.
What is your exit strategy? Aggressive. The angle he was taking? Because I've watched it several times now. At first, I was just like,
this is where it comes into a racing deal where Ferrandis knows he's got the inside line. He probably thinks, oh, Craig's going to check up.
It wasn't an inside line. He was going straight to the exit of the corner. Look at where
everybody went all day. That was the line.
They were going outside. Everyone was going outside. Ferrandis did go inside.
I watched Tomac make a pass there.
Yes.
I watched a lot of people make a pass
there. They did not go at that angle. His angle was way worse than anyone else I'd seen do it all night.
I'd have to watch it again.
I'll have to go back and look again. And there was no exit strategy.
There's no exit strategy because they put a fucking tough block there. So
I mean, his exit strategy was if he didn't hit Craig.
Or Craig's. There was no exit for Craig because they put a fucking tough block there and he didn't.
It was made worse by the way that berm was built because it tightened up fast, and basically if you went outside, the way it happened is Craig bounced off that berm, and so right at the point of contact, he was basically.
And if that berm wasn't there, we're not even having this conversation.
Nope. Not at all. So
and then you throw in the nationality card, and I think
the nationality card is definitely a big problem for him. But
and don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of either one of these guys. I'm not a super fan of either one of these guys, but I just think it's hilarious every time a guy comes over from the GPs or comes over from overseas and kicks the big dog cocky American ass.
Yep.
So,
but I'm with you too. If that's anyone else, there's no problem. If it's not Frenchie taking him out, or if the roles are reversed, there's nothing.
Right.
It's accentuated by Frenchie. Now, I will say, coming from a racer's perspective, like I said, it was impatient and, in my opinion, stupid.
It was heat of the moment.
He was panicking. Another not so great start. Better than he has been, but still not great.
Right.
And he's got his two guys they needs to beat behind him, but in front of him is Craig, and then this kid who's 16 who gapped his ass, was gapping him and spanking him around.
Yep, and I don't know, there might be a correlation here, but Ferrandis in the press conference was like, well, he was slowing up, he looked like he was getting tired.
Mm-hmm.
So coming over the finish line in Ferrandis' mind is, oh, this guy's getting a little tired, maybe he's not going to run me as hard.
Yep. But again, I think it was just a horrible racing decision on Frenchie's part.
There were too many negative factors, like the berm, the track, like the heat of the moment.
And again, there was no exit strategy for him. If he doesn't hit Craig, he's taking out the mechanics because he was going down anyway.
He wasn't going down.
He said in the press conference he was sliding.
He was, but I think he started sliding because he realized, oh boy, was not letting up.
That might have been
because as a racer, he's leaning that bike into that berm, where that berm was, and he's gone.
You really think he was going to hit the berm though? Because where they made the point of contact was the end of the berm, so I don't know.
There was enough of a rut there to fucking go.
I don't know.
Enough of a rut there to lean that thing in and go.
I wasn't actually there at the track, so I can't tell you. I don't know.
If you look at the pictures, like he's going right into where the rut is.
It was a bad decision.
But either way, it was ugly, and it's causing a lot of controversy. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. It'll be interesting to see if Pretty Boy Craig wants to get some revenge, like he did Alex Martin for some dumb shit.
There is.
So we'll see.
The thing is,
but I'm not. If I'm Pretty Boy Craig, I'm not fucking with Ferrandis.
I'm waiting. I'm not going next week.
I'm not gonna mess with Ferrandis.
If he goes next week and does something, he's getting a suspension automatically. If he waits another 3-4 rounds where people start to forget, and then the opportunity presents itself, then I think he's okay. Now Dylan, on the other hand,
he's kind of got his hands tied like.
I'm gonna say all this has done now is fuck up his championship hopes.
I don't think so.
A guy who can't get starts now has a guy who can get decent starts and actually run with him somewhat. And it's another guy. It wasn't Cooper and Faulkner. If he'd have done this to Cooper or Faulkner, no problem. They're already got you in their fucking marks. Now you have another guy who probably before this was just like, whatever. I don't fucking care about him. Like, I don't want him to beat me, but he's faster than me. I mean, we can both agree on that, right? Yeah. He's faster than Craig. Now you have him going, because let's face it, you get a bad start. Yeah, he's riding a wide bike. He's Vince Freezing. He's moving chicane for you now. And that's if you can get lucky and get by him on a straightaway. If you go into a bull turn with him and he can set you up in a few rounds.
I do think that Frenchie has the speed to blow around the outside of Craig.
He does. He does, which is, again...
So that's why it's just going to be interesting to keep watching.
It's going to make for great
West Coast they're going to have that all over the TV.
Oh, yes.
I wonder if they'll interview him through the broadcast, any of that kind of stuff. But, so what were Justin's thoughts? I didn't read any of the
Justin,
I saw he kind of brought up the Brock Hepler thing. So if you go on
Yeah.
Facebook and look up Brock Hepler, he made a pretty
good
interesting
point.
post about it. Made a good point. So,
But he also was on the thing that I'm running of this whole kind of Craig owes him one, and if Craig gets him, I mean, there's not a lot that can happen, because again, going back to my point of Frenchie screwed his title here, he's on probation the rest of the year. If he does something like this again, he's gonna be in trouble.
yeah, and,
if
the
it comes,
AMA's all fucking corrupt and stuff.
yeah, I mean, they won't take the title away from him, but oh man, he's already disliked. I would not want to be him if he has to do something like this again to win the title. I mean, imagine if we come down to Salt Lake and he has to pull a Osborne on Sabachi, 2 corners to go.
It's just going to be interesting. That's a good point, but it's going to be interesting to see how he can block out the noise. Does he use?
There wasn't any blocking out the noise Saturday night.
I haven't heard anything like that since Pastrana got taken out by Carmichael.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day. But does that bother him, or does he use it as fuel to kick everyone's ass?
He already.
I think he's
fuel.
a guy. I think he's a guy that takes everybody talking down on him, all this stuff, and he goes out there and just whoops their asses.
I don't follow him that much, nor do I know that much about him. I will say Daniel Blair, I was listening to his podcast before we started filming, said that he believes he is a little more of a sensitive dude in a way.
Really?
And that
it might bother him?
if stuff continues like this, he's not contracted for next year. He actually thinks like, dude, if it gets bad enough here in the U.S., as far as fans going after him, because he's already getting threats on his whatever, which if you're doing that, fuck off. Like, there's no reason to threaten the goddamn guy.
I
You're
was,
a
just
fucking
I was
idiot.
just waiting for Craig's wife to get in.
Oh, that'd been awesome.
No,
Would've been
I know
epic.
she would have, because she's like that.
But Blair, DB's under the impression that like if it gets bad enough here as the year goes on and it's not forgotten and kind of pushed to the side, that there's a chance he might go back to the GPs instead of staying here.
Bullshit.
I don't think so.
I just think that's BS at the whole sport. A guy like that will bring a national audience, a worldwide audience to our series, and the industry's going to turn their back on him and shit on him.
I don't think it's necessarily an industry thing that he thinks. I think it's going to be a situation of he's not going to want to
now
be
I'm
here
thinking is
anymore.
like, if people hate him, what team wants to sign him?
Oh, KTM. I think he's going to KTM.
You think they'll still sign him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors that he was talking to Roger after the first 2 races already.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And the high rumor mill is they're making a 3rd spot on that team for him for next year.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that'd be cool. Whatever.
that's what I've heard.
Whatever.
So
I think the sport needs it.
Let me ask you this. Percentage pie, how much harder did he just make this title? He was already, say, a 50-50. It was 50% harder for him because of his bad starts
He
and
just
everything.
made it a little harder because now he's got to watch how he passes. Because here it comes back into the corrupt thing. It might not be a hard pass, but they'll say, "Oh, you're French. Hit the road."
Now,
kind of deal.
do you agree with no penalty, just the probation and
I agree
whatever?
with that.
You don't think there should have been any penalty? You
I
don't
don't
think
think
this opens the
It
door
wasn't.
now?
It wasn't intentional.
It wasn't intentional, but that was aggressive, like almost beyond aggressive. Aggressive is him on Jet. Aggressive was him on Forkner. This is beyond that. This is beyond it. It wasn't dirty, but it's beyond. It's between the aggressive and dirty.
Super aggressive.
So they said. So now they're saying to president of, well, you can go in and do this, and we're just going to give you probation because the next guy who does something like this. I mean, what if? Okay, we've been talking about this. What if Craig goes and does that to him? Like, or not even Craig. What if we get an East-West shootout?
Do they do it to Craig?
And what if we?
Did they give Craig a penalty?
What if we do an East-West shootout? Because then if they
Do they give Craig a retaliation
I was
penalty?
gonna say, then if they do, or even
Watch,
if it's anyone out
Craig
of
will do
Honda,
it, and they won't do a damn thing to Craig.
I mean,
That's just
They have-
that's my
at-
opinion.
at
That's
this-
how lopsided and messed up I think people.
they probably won't. But at this point, they've set a precedent of, well, you can do it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fucked up in that sense, but I don't know. Comment down below with what you think on it. It's definitely a hot topic. We've been talking about it since it happened Saturday. We were talking about
everybody
Saturday
has.
night.
And if you guys haven't seen it yet, shout out to Diffie Smooth.
Oh yes, the meme.
He's so quick on the memes. I don't know why, but no, that meme was pretty good, and especially because fight and all that was going on. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there had the fight on one TV in the living room and had the race on the other one. And if you paid for that fight, ha 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 ha.
Never paid for a UFC
Yeah.
fight. Horrible idea.
Anyway, I want to get into the other side of things that everybody's trying to shit on Ferrandis for the jet deal.
The jet deal.
In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with any of that.
I'm with you on that. 100%.
So go back, watch the heat race. I sent it to you guys in the chat. Watch Webb make a pass on Tomac in the exact same spot. Tomac checks up. Jet's young. If any other guy, he would have let up.
Mm-hmm.
But he went wide open off the triple. It looked ugly. And when Jet landed, he went to the right and covered the line. So
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anything about Ferrandis cross-jumping nobody because Jet did the same thing and covered his line.
It was close,
So-
and it was sketchy on both ends,
Mhm.
but that was a guy who wants to do anything to win, and we
Yeah.
saw it earlier, and a kid.
And off the triple,
Who
not
has-
a cross-jump either. If you don't cover that line on the inside with two corners left, you're an idiot.
Yep. And then, I mean, the jet thing just was.
But the crash, ooh.
Oh, man.
Dude, I
Dude,
was like, hey, what, is this Axel Hodges?
the slow-mo of him just riding
I
the
think
front
everybody
wheel,
in their living
knees
room,
on the bars.
Yeah, everybody in their living room can relate to the oh.
And I was really like, at one point,
It was
as
like
he's
the-
almost to the face going, is he going to pull this off? Is
I
this
thought
gonna
he
be
was
a
gonna
thing?
ride it out.
I
Maybe he
thought
could
so,
have
too.
locked up the front brake and did a front flip or something. But
I don't know, man.
and him doing the wheelies through the whoops and stuff.
It was, oh,
Like I
dude.
kind of think that stuff was intentional.
I-
Cause I watched him in St. Louis, like just riding around for the hell of it, wheeling the whole whoop section.
That he said the whoops got so beat down that they were small, and he was just like,
I
I
need to get
don't
the
really
back
care.
wheel.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. The Saturday night, I do not think was intentional at all. That was a inexperienced 16-year-old kid who's leading a main, going, "Fuck, I just screwed up."
But he regained his composure.
He did, because then he ran that awesome lap where he
So-
just blitzed it. So,
That race right there, that just locked me in as a Jet Lawrence fan.
dude, I tell
I like
you, I'm
it. I like
sad
his
he's not gonna be
personality.
here.
I like his riding style. I think he's going to be great moving forward.
Does he win one before the year's over? Because he's only going to be
Depends on how
gone.
much. They're going to plate that thing up. And
He's
he'll
going to be
back.
gone 4 weeks at most. So he'll miss the next 2-3 rounds of West and then be back.
Maybe. What I was really most impressed with was his whoop speed
Mm-hmm.
and how good he was through the whoops.
Mm-hmm.
And the only other guys that I kind of seen doing the same technique is if you watch him, he doesn't set the front end in until about the third whoop,
Mm-hmm.
and that right there is, I don't know, man. He's gonna be good. I wish he kind of would have just settled for a second, but he had the interview. He's like, I ain't settling,
Nope.
and he just proved a lot of people in the industry who he is. Who he is.
That is who he is.
Yeah, so it's gonna be good.
I don't think he was really blitzing those whoops any faster when he crashed. I think it was literally just
I think
he was
it's
pumped
just
up, tired.
He got out of
and-
shape a little bit
yeah.
and just missed one by that much.
I was gonna say drop the front end in because he only dropped it in like with 2 whoops to go or whatever, and it didn't look like he was really. Plus, he wasn't close enough.
And if it would have dropped one whoop after, he would have been fine. But
Yep.
that was the last one that had a little bit of a peak to it.
Yep.
But,
So just a bad.
That's what it
deal.
is. Amazing night for a fan of Supercross.
But again, does he win one before the year's over?
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
I mean, he has
That was impressive.
now paced Faulkner for 11 minutes and then led up until the last lap of another one.
and
And not just led, he was gapping. He had an 11-second lead. He doesn't go down out of that turn. It doesn't.
No, he
slip
doesn't
up
go
and
down
right.
off the double. He won't
wins
guarantee.
going away.
he wins easy. What the hell am I saying? Yeah, I don't know. He's gonna be good. That's my thoughts on Lawrence. Do I think he gets a win? I'm gonna say yes, because at the end of the year, if it kind of comes down to a managing a title situation, I think he puts himself into a good position and wins one.
Okay.
It just kind of depends on how bad the collarbone is. I haven't seen anything, but
Dude, that was
nowadays
because he was out.
I think he
Dude.
was out.
Oh, he was. Dude, there was no way he wasn't. He literally just kind of down the face.
Or,
of that.
I mean, I don't know if he was out or not, but he was just kind of like off.
That was too much of a looking like he was out for him not to be out.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but it's a very small percent chance in my opinion.
So who do you got next on there? Let's move to.
Well, we only got a few minutes left here.
I wanna
before
move
they
to
shut
Faulkner.
off. I want to talk about Faulkner too.
Can we all agree. So watching him practice, watching him through the whoops, he's just mentally not there when it comes to the whoop section. A1 last year, he wads it up in the whoops in third.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we all know what happened to him. Or no, not last year. Did he wad it up in the whoops last year? Obviously,
the whoops
last
are
year
what hurt his
knee in the whoops. And A1 this year.
Yep.
Year before that, when he made his debut battling against Zach, down in the whoops. Last night, down in the whoops. Can we get a I'm mentally screwed for the whoops kind of deal?
Can we get a he's never going to win a title? Or he's not winning a title this year, let's put it that way.
This year, after, if the whoops aren't jumpers, no. I think right now, he is so deep in his head in the whoops right now and how bad they are and how bad he is in them. If he can't jump through them, he doesn't win.
I just feel good about myself because I called this shit.
Called him hitting the deck?
Yeah. Dude, it was a pressure situation. He's behind
I don't
Fernandez.
think he was pressured.
He knows he needs to get ahead of
They
Fernandez.
didn't really have the camera on him a lot, so I couldn't really tell how hard he was pushing.
Was Cooper in front of him at that point too, or was Cooper behind him?
Cooper was behind him, I think.
Okay. But Fernandez is in front of him, and the two Geico guys are running away from him.
But, was that before or after the crash from Craig?
I don't remember.
So does Fortner see Craig on the ground and like, okay, I'm in third?
I think it was before, actually.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But either way, man, he needs to get the whoops figured out.
Yeah.
And I think he's got a mental block right now. So
I'd be highly surprised if he didn't.
And I think he needs a proactive sponsorship.
That also is a thing. That also is a thing.
So I mean, what are your thoughts on the podium interview?
They getting booed until they shut it off?
No, on Fortner talking about crushing everybody.
I think he looks like a dumbass. I think he needs to learn to keep his mouth shut, and I think that is why he will not win a title this year.
I'm not a Fortner guy, but I like the confidence.
It's
I like the
great
confidence.
for us to talk about.
I like the confidence of it. And if you're a racer, every single one of those guys thinks the same thing. They want to kick all their asses.
Yep.
Would I have said it on the podium? I don't think so.
One win and not leading the points? No.
I mean, is it a warning shot off to the other guys? Like, I'm confident, I'm going to kick your ass kind of deal? Or?
I mean, it could be a warning shot, but you better go out and back it up. And he's not backing it up.
Back it up. He didn't back it up.
He hit the deck.
So, to me, Fortner just doesn't look like the guy he was last year.
He's not.
So, he doesn't look aggressive on the bike as he did last year.
Nope.
Last week we kind of talked about maybe we got the dungy term, dunging it in.
Who did he have to ride against last year, though? That's the thing. Sexton, that was it.
Yeah. I mean, the competition elevated a little bit, so we'll see. I think, like I said, with the West Coast whoops, keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the whoop section in Fortner.
I think we're going to see him hit the deck more this year, just like I talked about in the group chat.
Now, a championship ride last night, just doing what he had to do, Cooper.
Dude. Cooper
and I also had this thought. Everybody
quietly being good here.
Everybody grenades themselves.
Hartraff. Dude. I know.
Well, if everybody grenades themselves and he gets a Bogle title a couple years ago.
Dude, I don't know that he's going to get a title, but he is going to be in it much more than we thought because of shit like last night. Fortner grenades himself. Craig gets taken out. I mean, all of a sudden he's third.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not fast, but he's just steady.
Yeah, I was kind of critical of him at A1. I was just like, he was just there. I didn't really see any flashes, and again, he's just kind of there.
Yeah, but he's doing the same thing.
Paying the bills, man.
I was gonna say Cooper's kind of doing the same thing. Because Cooper won A1, yes, I'll give you that. But since then, the next two rounds, have we really seen a lot of him? I mean, he was kind of fast at St. Louis, and we were paying attention to him. But then, like the other day at A2, he's not really fast. He's just kind of there and not hitting the deck.
Excuse me. And he admitted that. He said that he really wasn't feeling that good all day. So,
but again, you come through with what do you finish? Second? I mean,
and you end up with a second. Yeah,
that's
that's one of them salvaging rides. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be awesome to see how the whole Frenchie versus, the whole Andy Carson versus Rene Cartier kind of thing goes on.
And we have a Triple Crown next week.
Is it? Okay, so
Yes.
more, that's 3 chances at
Oh, yes.
So I'm excited.
I am
I
too.
like the Triple Crowns. I don't really have anybody else to really point out in there.
Me neither.
I don't know who else you had on there.
Nope. That was it. That's all I got for 250s there. I mean, there was only really.
How about
one
Alex
thing
Martin's
to talk-
flying W through the woods?
Oh my God, that poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy.
Is it outdoor time for him yet? So.
So you want to get in? What we got next week? Triple Crown.
No, we'll get into that at the end of the 450s here. We'll get into that at the end of the 450s here.
Okay.
So take a quick break here. Come back. 450 talk. Not as entertaining as 250s.
So
But we still
probably
got
fly
covered.
through this a little quicker.
Yep.